Hey, so this is probably going to be a bit out of sync, but not too bad. I'm sitting here drinking some Chateau La Rose de Pin Bordeaux Supérieur. I did take French, but I didn't take it to heart. This wine is a 2012 wine, which was almost 8 years ago now. That's kind of crazy. 2012 was a special year for me, but that's probably something I might get into later. Anyway, what the hell is all of this about? Well, my name is Alex, and this is my informal channel. I run a blog, I guess you could call it. I don't really like calling it that because I feel like I'm a little bit more serious than a blogger. But then again, I think that you shouldn't necessarily take people as seriously because they're blogging. But the concept of blog is generally you're just kind of giving opinions about things of little consequence. Sort of like what I'm doing right now, which is why I'm comfortable calling this a vlog. But on my website, I write stories, I write essays and articles where I try to get a little bit more in depth and where I get more involved than just merely kind of lackadaisically musing on things. Although I do plenty of that as well. Ergo, it's kind of in that gray zone. But yeah, you should check it out if you just want a wide variety of things delivered somewhat consistently. I'm definitely going to try to do a lot more of it because I feel that right now, over the past decade, things have just been kind of moving forward and forward to where self-publishing is so advanced that not to avail yourself of it as a person with creative intentions in a serious way is, well, just kind of dumb and an abdication of duty almost. So I've been taking notes when I can about Japan, but that's the thing about videos that require research when you have also a lot of stuff going on in your life is it takes some time, but I have been thinking it over. So I'm just gonna briefly look at a couple of points. This is from a website called aboutjapan.japansociety.org, and these are two things that they said. The first one was, why did Japan's leaders choose to develop an industrial economy and a powerful military machine in the late 19th century? And in my opinion, that was a direct result of their response to globalization, of the West and other powers making inroads into Asia and eventually Japan. And ditto goes for, why did they decide to overpower their neighbors and gradually to take their territory? Beginning with the island of Taiwan, then Korea, then part of mainland China, the Philippines, most of the Pacific Islands, and more. What led Japan into its ill-fated war with the United States? And I was actually surprised to learn that they had, it was an empire, that they had taken all of these lands like Taiwan, Korea, parts of mainland China, and the Philippines. And maybe they went over that in school, but I really doubt it. And I like learning new things, so I just thought that was neat, and I shared it briefly. Obviously, I'm going to try to flesh all of this out, as I've just been kind of pushing it down the road. But I came out with a story today, so that's good. I'm going to talk a little bit about Linux and some compromises that I'm making. Now, the compromises I'm making have nothing to do with the inadequacies of Linux. It really has to do with my own time constraints and things and certain bottlenecks that I've encountered. Because right now I'm trying to learn a lot of really basic web design concepts, like setting up servers and doing PHP on them, etc. And for some reason, just because I don't really understand the file system in my Mint very well, probably, I was having trouble. And I also needed new hardware because right now I'm recording this on a computer from 2014. So I was going to wait until an opportune time to purchase a new laptop from a company called System 76 because their hardware is guaranteed to play well with Linux distributions. But I got ANSI and I bought a Lenovo, which is behind me, a Lenovo Yoga with an i5. And I'm going to use Windows for a while just because there's certain applications in terms of creating video content and things that don't require quite as much attention as certain things in Linux. And that's not to say that Linux isn't simple and that the desktop environment isn't great and has a lot less bloat and functions a lot more smoothly even on an older machine. It's just that when you kind of want things to work together in concert in the Internet of Things, which is kind of maybe you shouldn't really want that, but right now it's incredibly simplifying my life, so I'm going in that direction. I'm just going to use the Windows for a while until such a time as I feel that I have time to learn all of the things to make Linux as fully functional as I want it to be for the creative work that I am doing. Now, in many ways, Linux is superior, but then there's also certain issues. And that's pretty much all I have to say on that topic. But aside from this little caveat that if you check out a channel called Chris Titus Tech, and he's also a guy who reluctantly uses Windows for some things. Like I think he uses it for live streaming. Just because, you see, the thing about Windows is they work in conjunction with certain companies to get a grip on hardware, proprietary hardware that works in sync with their software, and it's not on Linux that that the sort of licensing with business interest occurs. And again, I'm not necessarily a guy that's so horrible because programmers need to make money. Linux is amazing for the fact that it's just community-based, a bunch of people passionate about computing. And feel free, if you're a Linux person that's very proficient at it, to laugh at me. That's fine. I totally deserve it. But I want to be completely honest about what I'm doing and about where I stand on things. And I did go through a period of purism. And Purism is actually, I believe, a company that creates Linux-friendly laptops and things. But it's also a concept of where you're just kind of a perfectionist from what you use due to ideological reasons. And maybe it's a failure of my character, but it's just I've got to get moving here. And there are definitely things that Linux is superior for. And the things that Linux is not superior for is not really the fault of Linux. It's just kind of a business / evolution of how business and technology have evolved type of thing. And anybody can contest anything I'm saying or add to it, because the more we have people talking about Linux and getting people to realize what an actually great operating system it is, what a great desktop environment it is, the more we'll be able to force Windows and other companies to behave in a more ethical and user-friendly fashion. Yeah. Cheers to that. I don't bullshit people here. When I make a change that can make my character look kind of a little bit wobbly, I'm okay with letting people know that. Yeah. So, OPEF apparently has just published something on July 12th, which was that today? Today was the 14th, so the 12th was Friday. So I'm assuming that's OPEF's official YouTube channel, and it's something, I think, Swedish or Norwegian. Hjartat vet vad handen går. It's a lot of words to just say heart in hand. But man, OPEF has gotten progressively weirder. I'm not saying I don't like it. It's just kind of bizarre. I don't know. Are there any other OPEF fans out there? Yeah. I don't know. Let me listen to this real quick. Oh, I can't because I'm running Ardor, which is a free and open source thing. It's a DAW, a digital audio workstation that's free and open source. I suppose while I'm here, I might try to do, since I can't really listen to OPEF right now and give my commentary and what it sounds like, because in the last 10 minutes or so I forgot, I can just play my own stuff. Now it's not going to be that great, but my guitar's probably not even in tune. Nope. Oh, Lord, hold on. These things are friends for people who aren't terribly musically inclined, little snark tuners. Let's see. Good enough. At some point I'm gonna try to come up with some lyrics on the fly. Likely comprised of discarded lyrics that I've used. Yeah, I'm a bit concerned that you still haven't learned that time, it passes quickly, while death's not at the door. Oh, to be sure, that's a poor excuse to spend your time so tired and so sickly. So reach out for the door, reach out for a bed, come on, stretch for more. Cause the grains of sand in the hourglass, they count away. Oh, they count away. Oh, they count away. Exploding stars and fields of gas. Now I don't know why they arrange themselves into such subtle symmetries that sing and hum with vibration that will ever tease about the order and the sound. I'm coming around again to misunderstanding, which is where I like to be. Cause as far as I am standing, I can tell I'm up down, I can tell I'm upside down. And I know, but to you know that time will only pass so slow if you realize it passes quick. So I'm a bit concerned you haven't learned that time, it passes quickly. Yeah, death might not be at the door, but still it's a poor excuse to spend it all. So tired and so bloody sickly. Yeah, well, that took up, 15 minutes? Cheers, folks.